All right, so we're looking at exercise 8-1 in the book. And so what it's going to have you do is convert the town hall homepage into a responsive design. So you're going to need to work off of your solution from exercise 7-1 if you did not do that, because that's going to be your basis to start with. Okay, so there's a lot going on in this, so we'll just take it step by step. So it tells you to open up the Town Hall 1 index HTML and then Town Hall 1 styles main CSS. So I have both of those open over here. So first it's going to ask you, number 2, add a meta element like the one shown in figure 8-9. So you need to go back to your book and look in figure 8-9. So let's see if I can open this up real quickly here. I think this is 8-4, so you want to go moving forward to find 8-9, so 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 should be right about here. So on this page is where it's giving you some of that meta information. So right down here it gives you the exact code that you need to put in there. All right, so let's put this down here. So in your index at the top, inside the head section is where you have all your meta tags. And so meta, the character set was already there for you, but here is on line 6 what you needed to add, and it's straight out of the book. All right, and then it asks you in number 3 to display the page in Chrome and then resize your browser. So just wide enough so you can see the whole page. Just open it up there. All right, so next we are going to display, now I'm on number 4, display the CSS file for this page, and note that the width of the body is set to 800 pixels. So I'm going to go to my CSS7 main, my starting files, and I'm going to see that, what did it say? The body. Okay, so I'm going to go scroll up here to the body. You can see on line 12 it says the width is set to 800 pixels. So that's a fixed width. We don't want that, because if, you know, on a browser, on a computer, laptop, whatever, that's fine. But when you start to get where you're looking at it on a tablet or you're looking at it on a phone, you want it to automatically resize to that viewport or that screen size of your device. And if you set a fixed width, it's not going to be able to do that. So you're going to want to change this width to 98%. So there's room for 3 pixels on the left, 3 pixels on the right. And then your width is 98%. But you want to set your maximum width to 960. So I'm going to go over to where I have them all done for time's sake. And you can see here on line 12, I changed the width to 99%. It was 800 pixels. This, by the way, is where I have my comment. And then line 13, I set my max width to 960 pixels. Okay? All right, number 5, set the width of the list in the submenu of the navigation menu to 100%, so it extends the full width of the list item. All right, so I'm going to go back to my, let's see, scroll down to where my navigation is. Okay, here we are. So this might sound a little tricky, so let's start this. So line 50, this is our unordered list for our menu. So that's, if I have the page open, let me open it here real quick. I'm going to pull it out wide. So all these items in here on this nav menu, that's our unordered list. When I get to About Us, I have these 4 drop downs here. That is our sub navigation menu. Okay, our sub navigation menu. Just wanted to point that out. So number 5, when it's asking us to set the width of the list in the sub-menu of the navigation menu. Well, we know this on line 50 is our actual menu. If we wanted to go to the sub-menu, then we would need to go down here on line 72, where it has the nav menu, unordered list, and then unordered list again, which is saying that that's our submenu. And line 73 is where we set our width to 100%. Okay, so that way it will extend the full list. So let me open this up again, and if I go right here, you can see it extends the full amount. It's not shortened by any means. All right, number 6, change the widths of the section and aside elements. All right, so let me go find my section. Here's section, and aside is down a little bit further. You can see that there are comments in here which make it very easy to find the parts that you're looking for. All right, so section and the anchor elements, the A tag elements within the unordered list for the main navigation to percents by using the formula in figure 8.4. So let's go back to our book here, and I am on figure 8.9, so 8.8, 8.7, 6, 5, 4. So here's 8.4, and here where it shows you where you can do your calculations. Okay, so if 930 was, say, the body size, or I'm sorry, that's your header size, 960 is the body size, we want to divide by that and times 100. So here's all your calculations. All right, so back over to here. It is asking us to, let's see, I lost my place here. Okay, change the widths of the section and aside elements and the anchor elements within the unordered list for the main navigation menu to percents by using the formula. Then you're going to do the same for the left and right padding for the image and the header, the left and right padding for the section, and the left padding for the aside. So there's a lot going on in there. Basically, you just need to do it one by one, and so you don't get lost there. So let's just start with section. So right here on 96, we're changing this width here to a percent. So we're taking, basically, if you're looking at your page, and I really encourage you to draw boxes around. So kind of like sketch this page right here out on a piece of paper. And what you would do is kind of draw boxes here. So I would draw a box up here around this section, San Joaquin Valley Town Hall. So that's my header box, right? Then this next rectangular box would be my nav, and then I would draw a box down here on the left. That's my aside. And then here in the middle, all of this right here, that's my big box with my main section. So I've got section and aside. They're both inside my main box, and then my rectangle box down here is my footer. So this kind of helps me look at it. So they're sharing the screen right now. My aside is taking up a portion of it, and then my section here is taking a portion of it, and they're both inside the main section. So when I do my calculations, it's going to be based off that size of the main, so whatever I said that was going to be. If I'm fixing them all with inside the body, then that's, you know, the entire body. So I'm you know, sizing out my navigation, I'm sizing out my main area, then I would do it relative to the entire body page. Okay, so that's kind of how you do that. So going back over here, this 525, that's what my section area is going to be based off of, let me go back to the 7 where you left off. So you can see the body was 800. If I scroll down a little bit further for section, let's see, here's my nav menu, it's 160. My section is 525. So those are the numbers that you're going to recognize. So when I go here and I'm changing my section, here's the 525. And I'm going to divide it by 800, which is my entire page, then times 100, and then that gives me my 65%. So the section right here with our mission, fossils, etc., that is going to take up 65.625% of the page, no matter what device I'm looking at, no matter what the viewport, they call it, is. Okay, and then padding was one of the things, so that's right here. Padding is 20, and then divided by the whole page is 800, excuse me, times 100, and that gives us those numbers that you see up there, the percentage on the side. So remember, this is like a clock, top, right, bottom, left. So the right and the left is our 2.5% because that's what's coming in when we resize our screen. All right, and so you'll come down here, you'll do the same thing for your aside on line 148 and 150. You can see that there as well. Then the other one, if I believe, was the, where was it? Oh, the list item. Okay, so right here on number 7, it's going to tell you to test the changes and notice that changing the width of the A elements doesn't work, because originally it told you to put it up in the unordered list, so up here on somewhere in line between line 50 and line 54. Well, that's not going to do any difference because you want to change the list items, so those 4 different items that are in the navigation menu. So that's what you need to change on line 58. So number 8 is just going to tell you, didn't work. So move that down to the style rule for the LI elements. Okay, so that's where it needs to be. You kind of really have to visualize where these things are. Where on the HTML page have you put these boxes? And then you can get a better grasp on how you want to move them around and what their widths should be. And, you know, am I floating left? Am I floating right? I used to get like magnets and put them on the board and kind of move things around with the magnets, and that always was a good visual. All right, so number 9. Okay, so it'll say that you had set the maximum width of the body to 960, which is 160 pixels wider than the original page. So it's just asking you then to, you know, when you're viewing it and you've got it open, stretch it out. You'll see that it won't go past a maximum there. Then it's saying, you know, decrease the size and see what happens. Notice that it jumps down to the bottom. Okay, guest speakers are down here. Let's stop for a minute. Let's look at this. So on our index page, we've got our head section, which nobody sees. We've got our body, our header, which is the very top. We've got our navigation, which comes next. We've got then our section. Then we've got our aside, our article, then our aside, then our footer. Okay, so it's all pretty much in a row. You'll notice when we resized it, everything went back into the flow that it did before. Guest speakers were down at the bottom. That's our aside. If we stretch it out, then it goes to the left on the side like we told it to in the CSS. Resizing it, it jumps back down to the regular flow that you'll see on your HTML page in order. So that's just another indication of how you can use CSS to make things move around the way that you want them to. All right. So next thing, number 12, we're going to display the HTML for the page. Notice that the image element for the image in the article, so this guy here with the dinosaur, doesn't contain a width or height attribute. So because of that, the image is displayed in its native width of 250 pixels. And then the text that flows into the space to its left takes up the rest of the width of the article. So what you want to do on item 13 over here, I'm going to move this, is set the max width property of this image to 40%. Okay, so let me get back over to here. Over here on our index, and we're talking about the header. Let's see, where we talked about the image in the section. So let me jump down here. I'm sorry, article. There we go. Article image, 138. So right here, max width on 140, we want to set that to 40%. So that way, and then the minimum width is 150 pixels. So it's not going to go any smaller than that. And the maximum is 40% of whatever space it has taken. If it's on a computer screen, of course you get 40% of that space. If it's on a smaller device, then it's only going to be 40% of that area. Okay, so I'm going to stop this right here, and then we'll pick up with the next video. We'll do from number 14 on.